Okay, hey Gemini. Welcome to Honeybird Tarot. This is Shan, and this is going to be your May 16th through 31st general reading. Okay, so I'm going to start with some oracle cards. This time I'm going to use two different oracle decks. I'm just going to try to get one message from each, and I'm going to start with the Adinkra Ancestral Guidance cards by Bresi-Ando, Tools for Living. Okay. That's it for Gemini, please, Spirit. And everything is pre-shuffled, but I still like to do some shuffling on camera. Okay. Gemini, you got Duyafe. I feel like, you could be doing some primping and prodding, some self-care, really taking care of your appearance right now. Duyafe is a wooden comb. This symbol represents the qualities of femininity. So even if you are not a woman or a female identifying person, this talks about physical manifestations of your feminine energy, and all people, all things really too, have feminine and masculine energies. Let's see if the guidebook has any additional messages to add to that. All right. You are powerful in so many ways, but today you must prioritize exalting your inner and outer beauty. Spend time taking care of yourself. Reconnect with the external parts of you that make up your identity and reflect your spirit. Additional meanings for this card are purify, detox, and pamper yourself. Make yourself a priority. Appreciate reward and put your beauty on display. Okay, Gemini. And this is the Okana Oracle by Akamara Tarot. And this deck helps us to facilitate our shadow work. So, let's get a message for the Gemini, please, Spirit. Any message for Gemini, Spirit? Messages for Gemini, please. I'll take this one right here. Okay. So what you got is toil. He who aims too much gets very little. This talks about working too hard, about aiming too much, meaning trying to accomplish too much and then ending up burning out and not accomplishing anything. All right, let's see. All right. The shadow element is struggling with feeling overworked but feeling guilty when rest is needed and acted upon. There exist so many books, articles, and videos showing us how to take a guilt-free rest. Why does the idea of giving yourself a break make you feel guilty? Why does the idea exist that unless you're toiling in the soil 24/7, that you're otherwise wasting the precious, non-refundable time in your life by taking a mental health day to recoup, regroup, and realign? We oftentimes need outside validation to tell us, yes, it's okay. Burnout is a documented concept. Give it a break before we take it. Give it a break before we take a step back and be still. This card suggests that you're struggling with this balance, never allowing yourself time to live your life outside of work or family obligations, and belittling your need for a day off. Being a hard worker is all well and good. However, one of the main draws to being efficient is being able to step away and appreciate the progress made, acknowledging the future and disconnecting in order to recharge and come back to tackle the remaining objectives. Okay. So I definitely feel, Gemini, like Spirit is saying you need to take some time to focus on self-care. You have basically repeating messages here. And I know self-care is more than lighting a candle, taking a hot bath, and all those things, but those are important parts of it as well. So I feel like Spirit is saying to take a day off. If you're anything like the Geminis, I know you definitely work very, very hard. Could possibly be a workaholic, which is not good for you. And in the long run, it causes burnout, and you end up being a lot less productive than you would have been had you just prioritized rest and self-care. All right. So do a mask, deep condition your hair, take a nice hot bath, light those candles, light the incense, eat off the good china. Also, pray, meditate, talk to a therapist, counselor, or someone else you're close to. Do all the things that are necessary to help bring you and your energy back into balance, to help you rest and find relaxation and rejuvenation so that you are up to the task at hand when you get back to things, okay? All right, so now we are going to get into your tarot, and I'm going to be using the Akamara tarot. It's by the same creator as the Okana Oracle. And all the decks I'm using today are by Black creators, except the Rider-Waite tarot that I'm going to use to color. I especially love the Akamara tarot because it features lots of images and concepts from African spiritual traditions and from African-based traditions throughout the diaspora. But it's what Honeybird Tarot is all about. Okay. Let's just switch them out. Okay. Let's just switch them out, please. I feel like there's some delayed communication, or someone's refusing to communicate about something, holding back something that they want to say to someone. I don't remember when the next Mercury retrograde is. I feel like it's sometime in June, so I don't think that's what this is. There are a bunch of other planets in retrograde right now, though. So that'll be going into retrograde sometime soon. So definitely could be some blockages to communication depending on what that communication is about. Hold on one second. Yes. Thank you. Sorry about that. Okay, so the first card you have is the 8 of Cane in reverse or in the still position. And like I said, that is about delays in communication or someone refusing to communicate something. Communication that is ineffective somehow, but I'm really getting that someone is refusing to communicate because that's just what's coming across with the rest of the cards. The next card is the 8 of Calabash, or the 8 of Cups. This talks about walking away from something that is not fulfilling, or is no longer fulfilling, or is not as fulfilling as we would like it to be. And it's a difficult decision and one that is very emotional, but it's like the not crying over spilled milk, but there are 3 calabashes at the top that are turned over, that are empty. There's nothing in them. And there's 5 here upright, but there's someone saying that, that's not enough. That's not enough. I'd rather leave this and go on to a possibility of a 9 of calabash, which talks about self-fulfillment, and which is necessary to reach total fulfillment, or the 10 of calabash with someone else. So Gemini, you could be withholding communication from someone because you are deciding that, this is just not a fulfilling situation for you anymore. That could be in regards to love, because Calabash talks about emotions, but this could be about a job. It could be about a creative project or anything, where you're just saying, you know what, it could really be about burnout, because that's what your oracle talked about. You could be saying, I'm really just tired of this. I feel overworked. I feel like it's not bringing me the satisfaction or fulfillment that I would like to see. And I'm just going to cut communication about it, and I'm going to let it go and walk away. And the next card you have is Stoicism, which would be the Hanged Man. And it talks about gaining a new spiritual perspective about something, about being held in a position where you can't move. And in this deck, this is a particularly painful holding pattern, or a painful time of not being able to make the moves that you might want to make, because Spirit is saying that you need to look at something a different way. And it may be your pain or your discontentment that is making it possible for you to change your perspective on something. I'm sorry if the light is getting wonky. I have been using the light from my window, but the sun is starting to set, so hopefully this isn't too dark. Okay. The next card you have is the 4 of Calabash, or 4 of Cups. This could be about a missed opportunity, because you're so focused on these 3 cups. It could be the 3 cups that got turned over here in the 8 of Cups. You could be so focused on what you lost that you don't realize there's another cup being offered to you. Or it could be that whatever is in that cup doesn't meet your standards, and you don't want it. You could be rejecting it, and which is the energy that I'm getting here. And under the deck, which could be overall energy or something that is hidden. And in this case, I feel like it's something that is hidden. You have the Two of Cowrie, which would be the Two of Pentacles. And that talks about balancing something. You see how this person is balancing one pentacle on top of the other on one hand. And I feel like Gemini, maybe you have really, really been trying to balance maybe your work life and your home life, your work life and your relationship, family and relationship, something. And that balance is thrown, that balancing act is throwing you out of balance. And I feel like you are just saying, I'm no longer interested in doing this. You're gaining a new perspective on it, and you are deciding that you want to cut communication and walk away. That's what I'm getting for right now. But we are going to clarify as soon as I turn my light on. Give me 1 second. Alright, hopefully that's a little better. Okay, and I'm going to clarify with the Rider-Waite tarot. This is the quote-unquote traditional tarot. The Five of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune popped out. So I feel like, Gemini, whatever this is that you may be feeling some sadness about having to leave behind, Spirit is saying that there's greater later. There's something better coming in for you once you make this decision to walk away from something that is not fulfilling you anymore. Whether that is work, being overworked, which I'm really feeling, or and you know what? I feel like maybe it's overworking that is keeping you from emotional fulfillment in certain areas of your life. Maybe being able to really bond and spend time with family or friends or yourself, because you had those two self-care cards. And I feel like you are about to choose yourself over whatever this project or job or possible relationship is. Yeah. Anything else for? Okay. So clarifying the Eight of Cane in the still position, or the Eight of Wands reversed, you have the Seven of Cups, which talks about having a lot of options and experiencing some confusion or illusions around those options or choices that you have. And I feel like this is saying that because you are unsure of what path you want to take, because of your uncertainty around what decision you're going to make, you're just deciding right now not to make a decision at all, not to communicate what it is that you plan to do. The next card that you have is the Eight of Cups. This is definitely Spirit confirming that you are deciding to walk away from something, or that you're leaning more towards walking away from something, because you got this card twice. I feel like that the best decision to make is to walk away from something, but you have not solidified that that's the decision you're actually going to make. You're still trying to figure out if there's some way that you can balance this, some way that you can make it work. And I feel like Spirit is saying there is no way that you can bring this into balance. You have to let whatever this is go, or we are going to introduce the Tower into the situation, we are going to take it away from you. And anything that is not built on a solid, stable foundation. And remember, you had the Two of Cavalry or Two of Pentacles under the deck, which suggests that something is not completely stable. You're balancing it, but that is because you are constantly shifting the center of gravity to make accommodations. And Spirit is saying that that is just too much work. It's too much toil. And you need time to focus on yourself and taking care of yourself. So if you do not choose to walk away, like we've nudged you towards or suggested towards you at least twice, we are just going to come in and knock all that shit over. Okay? Right, why is this Eight of Calabash here, Spirit? And maybe you making this decision to walk away from something is going to create a tower moment. Maybe you're leaving some type of job or creative endeavor that is going and is going to upend the team or really throw this, you feel like it's going to throw the project or whatever it is off track, and you're feeling guilty about that. But the universe is saying that there's no need to feel guilt. You have to take care of yourself first. Okay. All right. So clarifying the Eight of Calabash, we have the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups talks about an emotional message, could also be an apology or a message about love. It doesn't necessarily have to be a message about romantic love. I feel like, if this is a job or a creative endeavor, this is something that's really near and dear to your heart, something that you are emotionally connected to, and you may feel like you're needing to apologize for removing yourself from whatever it is, or for quitting or leaving, or whatever you want to call it. And that maybe you're making some type of offer or separation offer. Maybe you're saying, I'm going to give you, maybe the fish in this cup is you saying, I'll be around for such and such period of time. I'm going to help you transition to find someone else. I'm going to, do something to lessen the blow, if you will. But really, I feel like this is you just being apologetic about the fact that you are having to let something go. Not necessarily feeling guilty, but recognizing that, it may make things difficult for whatever other parties are involved, and, acknowledging that. The Knight of Swords is here. So I feel like this is you having clarity and moving towards making this decision swiftly. And maybe someone is going to look at it as though you're being rash or impulsive, and that is why you feel like it's necessary to be apologetic about leaving. But I feel like you are definitely very clear and going to move very quickly towards walking away from whatever this is. And the Star is here. The Star talks about wishes, wish fulfillment, and healing. And I feel like this is Spirit saying that once you have exited this situation, once you have walked away from whatever it is that you need to walk away from, Gemini, there is healing for you on the other side of that. There is rest and relaxation for you that is going to help bring you into balance once you leave that toil behind, and will help bring you to the wish fulfillment that you deserve to have for yourself that's not necessarily attached to whatever this external situation is. Why is stoicism here? One more card, just one more. Okay, so for Stoicism or the Hanged Man, you have the Knight of Wands. This is also a fast-moving, passionate energy, and I feel like this is the energy that you went into this situation with, whatever it is that you are having to leave. It's something that you were very passionate about, but it could also be something that is unstable because the Knight of Wands is in and out. As quickly as they come rushing in with their passion, they leave and take those passions elsewhere. So maybe you are worried about, someone seeing you in this light as something that is flighty or unstable. Or maybe your passion about whatever this is the reason why you're having a hard time gaining the new perspective that will allow you to put yourself first. And you might be in the energy of feeling like you need more information because the Page of Swords is is all about gathering more information. It could be a messenger of truth, but it's more about taking messages back to the home base than it is about carrying messages forward. So it's about standing on this hilltop to see what the enemy or seeing what the other side is doing and then carrying those messages or those informations back to your home base. So I feel like this is you gaining more information while you're in this painful holding pattern, while you're in this time of trying to figure out what your next move should be. And once you have gained that the information, then, and I feel like there's going to be messages that come to you too, because there's birds here. They're far away and kind of small, but I think definitely when they arrive, there's going to be multiple messages that bring you clarity. And once you've gotten those messages and gotten that clarity, I feel like you'll be able to embody the energy of the Queen of Swords, who who is truthful, is honest, who has clarity. You see her sword is up. She is in a position of being totally ready to cut out whatever it is that does not serve her, to cut out whatever it is that is not honest, true, or clear. You see those clouds, or that the illusion, the confusion is what she would be bringing her sword down on. Up where her sword is held, there's clarity. Okay. Why is the fourth calabash here? That tried to come out clarifying the last card, but it came out with a bunch of other cards, so I put it back. And it's out here again, so it wanted to be here. Let's see. Is there anything else to say about the Fool of Calabash? Okay, so this was a general, and I was really feeling like this could be more of a work situation because we had toil and Duyafe, which talk about focusing on the self and not overworking. But I feel Gemini like maybe someone is overworking in a relationship and it is draining them or taking more energy than they should have to expend to keep this relationship in balance or afloat because I'll get to it in a second. But the first card you had clarifying the Four of Calabash is the Fool. So I feel like this could either be, I hope you can see, there's a little bit of a glare on the computer, but this could either be you being uninterested in a new beginning, not interested in taking the first step towards something, but I really feel more like this is, or it could be an opportunity, missing an opportunity for a new beginning. But I feel like this is you rejecting something else that you've already been a part of, so that you can have a new beginning. The next card that came out to clarify the Four of Calabash is the Lovers. Now, this talks about a decision in love, and I feel like with the Lovers here, this could be you needing to make a decision about whether to turn your back on a love relationship, a possible soulmate or twin flame relationship, with the Lovers being here, to make a new start for yourself, because maybe this Lovers situation could possibly be codependent. The Lovers card looks almost exactly like the Devil card, which talks about codependency, obsession, addiction, all those things that we deal with when our shadow side is out of balance. Yeah, I really feel like you are possibly having to turn your back on a love situation that is taking too much out of you. And it's which is why this being in this hangman energy, having to gain a new perspective about it would be particularly painful if this is a deep love connection that you are having to reject or turn your back on. Like I said, it could be maybe that you're having to give up a job or something like that is making you unable to focus on the love relationship, or it could be in reverse where you're having to give up the love relationship so that you can focus on your stability, finances, or other things that are important to you, that the energy you're exerting to keep the relationship in balance is keeping you from, being able to apply that energy to other areas of your life. Either way, whichever decision you make, the world is here. So the world talks about graduations and leveling up and completing one cycle to move into a new cycle. It could also talk about moving physically, like traveling, or moving home, like relocating somewhere. It could be going back home or moving away from home. But here, combined with the Fool and the Lovers, I feel like someone is making a decision with the Fool, the Lovers, and the Four of Cups. Someone is making a decision to reject a new beginning in a love situation and choosing to move on by themselves. There's one person in this card, and this talks about personal leveling up. And with the Three of Swords being under the deck, being something that is unseen or could be the overall energy, there's heartbreak here. So I feel like this is why you aren't communicating about your decision to walk away from something. This is why you aren't communicating about your decision to ignore this opportunity for a new beginning in love. Is because it's painful for you to have to leave this love relationship behind, and you might be at a crossroads where you have the opportunity to either renew the love in a certain relationship. It still could be a job, but I really feel like it's love. To renew this relationship or to take those passions elsewhere, really towards to apply those passions to yourself, to taking care of yourself. And I really feel like that is what Spirit is telling you to do. Some relationship or some job or something that you are involved in, Gemini, is taking the energy that you need to be focusing internally. And yeah, Spirit is not going to have that. Either you're going to make the decision to let it go, or Spirit is going to take it away from you. Okay? All right, Gemini, I hope this resonated for you. If it did, please let me know in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe. And please, please, please follow me at Honeybird Tarot on Instagram. Tomorrow, that is Thursday, the May 14th. Yeah, Thursday, May 14th. I'm going to be going live at 6 p.m., I believe. Either 6 or 7, I'm sorry. To do a love reading on Instagram Live where I will allow people to ask yes or no love questions. So if you're interested in that, then meet us over at the live tomorrow, okay? And on every Thursday, as long as there isn't some other extenuating circumstance, in which case I will, always put up a post and let you guys know. All right. I love you so much, Gemini. Thank you for watching, and Pelu Ife with love. Bye.